Hey everyone, welcome to JoJo's World.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's definitely morning here. Is it morning for you? Let Liam know at Liam S. Smith.
And if I don't see you again, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
We're out of here.
This has been The Truman Show. I'm President Truman, and this is The West Wing. I'm Liam S. Smith, one of your co-hosts.
And I'm Valentine, the other one of the co-hosts.
This is JoJo's World, our JoJo's Bizarre Adventure recap and discussion podcast. I'm here to report, of course, that the JoJo radio events have kicked off in Japan, but I have not paid any attention to them.
Oh yeah, that was a thing that was happening, wasn't it?
There's a big event happening next year, though.
How curious.
Today, we are recapping and discussing Baccano, specifically the final episode of the Baccano television run, and then the first of the 3 Baccano OVAs, which I had assumed were just 3 unreleased episodes, but also appear to be, I'd say, about 1.5 times in length.
Yes, I guess, maybe.
Slightly longer is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, but also still kind of unrelated to anything that happened in the main show.
Oh, it's a regular Baccano.
It's an absolute Baccano.
So, Nick, what did you think of these 2 episodes?
I liked them. I liked them a lot. I thought they were good. I thought they were linear and definitely easy to follow.
I thought the end of the TV run did a good job of striking a balance between wrapping up the main plot threads of those storylines while also leaving enough loose that it didn't feel artificially tacked on when we started doing new stuff today.
Yeah, it did feel a lot like I still had questions regarding, wasn't there like a room that they were all in where they like
Oh,
do
yeah,
something?
there's some room that we see in one of the earliest episodes where someone cuts Isaac's ear with a spear, and then there's a crowd of people who we've come to recognize, many of them, but not all of them, watching as his ear, unbeknownst even to Isaac, heals up.
And he's like, well, that's a neat trick, isn't it? And then,
No, he does not even notice Nicholas.
I thought he did.
He doesn't, as we realize in this very episode, he does not realize he is an immortal until 2001.
True. That is a true fact. They just don't seem to age.
So, Nick,
Yes.
episode 13 of Baccano.
It's a me, Jonathan Baccano.
Okay.
Yep, that's all I got.
Both the life of an immortal and a mortal are equally glorified. In 1930, Firo manages to slay Slizzard and rescue Ennis. In 1931, Isaac and Maria adopt Cheslaw as their brother. Claire proposes to Shanae. In 1932, Eve arranges to rescue Dallas.
You know, in 2020, we have a new Patreon.
Ah, wonderful. Would have been great if you had mentioned that in the preamble of our show dedicated to such admin.
Oh, well, let me just tell you who this episode is dedicated to. Why, this episode is for and funded by
And by
Arthur Pamela.
Arthur Pamela.
Arthur Pamela. Sir Arthur Pamela of House...
Slytherin.
Tell me, Pamela, what house do you think you belong in? The Sorting Hat said. Do you feel conniving and wicked?
Targaryen, sir?
Targaryen? Oh, that's something that one of those Starks would say, wouldn't they?
What are our top 3
Arthur Pamela moments from Game of Thrones.
our top 3 long-running sci-fi or fantasy franchises that have been ruined in the past couple of years? Let's go. Harry Potter.
Why has Harry Potter been ruined?
Because J.K. Rowling will not shut up about trans
true.
people.
No, but let's be real. You know, if wizards are real, they wouldn't need toilets. They would just...
I'm not talking about that.
Magic their shit away.
That's stupid in its own right.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about J.K. Rowling being like, trans people are evil.
Oh, no.
Relentlessly. Game of Thrones ended poorly.
Yep, season 8 was, for lack of a better word, just what the fuck happened.
And let's go with the Star Wars film franchise too.
Which I didn't like from the get-go-ish.
Since 1977, Nick did not like Star Wars.
And now I'm here going, well, look who's laughing now.
Look who's been vindicated.
It's not
Nick.
me. Yep.
Look Who's Laughing Now is, of course, a franchise of movies about babies that can laugh like adult humans.
Is this real?
Or Look Who's Talking is one of those talking babies movies.
So now Look Who's Laughing. It's just them being like,
why so serious, say the babies.
and the dad is just like, why are you doing this to me?
Joker 2, Baby Joker, coming soon, directed by Edgar Wright, starring Kevin Spacey.
Oh no.
Baby Joker.
Thank you, Arthur Pamela, for sponsoring this episode in which we discuss
B-A-B-Y, Baby Joker. Hashtag Baby Joker, hashtag Baby Joker's trick.
Baby Joker's trick. What is it? It's unrefined at this point, but you know, it's getting there.
Yeah, with a proper mentor, Baby Joker could really come into their own as a comedian / super criminal.
Are you saying they need a Papa Joker?
Daddy Joker.
Daddy Joker? Please, Daddy Joker, tell me your wise secrets.
I want to say Daddy Joker is probably represented in media that doesn't accurately portray the Joker Harley Quinn abusive relationship.
Where has this gone? Go on, yes?
Well, okay, like, Nick, you give me credit.
Yeah,
The OVA episode we watched today was very Joker heavy.
it very much was. From multiple characters.
We'll get to that.
Oh, man.
Baccano, episode 13.
Okay, the final of the TV run. We gotta talk about this in order.
We gotta wrap up this whole flying pussyfoot saga, we gotta find Dallas Genoard, and we gotta save Miser from Zillard.
And we gotta get Jacuzzi to self-actualize fully. I guess he
Partial.
already did.
Gotta take steps in the right direction, Jacuz.
Yeah. Jacuz?
Sure.
Man, if my friend was named Jacuzzi, I would not call him Jacuz.
That's because you're a coward.
I am. Society has trained me too well.
It's 1930.
We're back in the day of Miser v. Zillard.
Yeah, they're all in the crime alley where Batman's parents will be gunned down 50 years from now.
And we know who does it. It's Zillard.
Yep. What? Zillard's like, Ennis, kill those two jokers in the car over there, and I'll deal with this clown over here.
And so Ennis is like, I guess I have to, master.
Yeah, and then we cut to 1931.
We're on the flying pussyfoot.
No, we're off the flying pussyfoot as Lad takes the brunt of their landing after he and Lua jumped off the train, or / were thrown off.
Yep.
And Lua is like, oh, Lad, you saved my life so that you can kill me. Oh, how beautiful. And Claire is watching from the train, receding distance, like, oh, they seem fine.
Well, you know, they're not dead, but whatever.
I didn't think he would actually go through it. I'm moderately impressed with that madman over there.
You know, there's something about his insane wilings that just, it touches a piece of me.
Anyway, back to my insane wilings. Shanae, you want to get hitched?
So I think he basically says, look, I don't
This
want to
Huey
kill
guy.
you. Yeah, this Huey guy, you think I want to, like, murder him or find out a secret
And
to
she's
immortality?
looking over his shoulder and seeing a vision of Huey doing like a very anime, sinister hand in front of face thing. Is he your father? Nod. Is he really immortal?
Nod.
Blades out.
Oh, so you think I want the
Oh,
secret
you
to
mean
his...
Ryan Johnson's visionary murder mystery, Blades
Oh,
Out?
Jesus.
I might watch that tonight.
What, Blades Out?
Knives Out.
Oh. I thought you were just going to be all like, I'm going to watch the parody Blades Out.
And it's got Wesley Snipes in the Benoit Blanc role.
In the what?
That's the name of the detective played by, what's that fucking James Bond name?
Yeah, Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig, yeah. 2 first names, can't trust him.
So now Wesley Snipes,
Yep.
The-
Also got 2 first names.
famously who played Blade
Yep.
in the 1990 whatever it was movie
I'm going to
Blade.
say early 2000s, at least for the sequels.
Yeah, the sequels, sure. But that's when, like, all of pop culture went thoroughly downhill.
So you're worried that I'm going to threaten this Huey for his secret of immortality.
Nod.
And he's your only family that you got left, so you care about him.
Nod.
Well, what if we get married? Then I'll be his son and I'll have to protect him too.
Shocked face.
You know, I won't betray you. You might think I'm joking, but I'll just, I gotta go menace some other people on the train now. So why don't you write your answer in the top of the carriage with your knives there, and then jump off into the river to escape so you don't get arrested.
Nod.
That's pretty much how it goes.
It's just a lot of talking
And then
from
he's
Claire.
gets up in her face like, hey, remember, I'm a guy who can never die. And then some mook tries to shoot them, and he gets like an anime cheek scratch from the bullet.
And he's all like, see?
And he looks her deep in the eyes and says, I promise you I will never die.
Because I fully believe I'll never die.
So then he goes and does some anime flips down the train to go murder this stupid idiot.
And this guy with the gun is like, Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
If you want to, you can throw your knife at me. I'll dodge it anyway. And off he goes.
He just
Rail tracing away. Shot of the big beautiful train going over a big beautiful bridge. One of our country's many great bridges.
God damn it.
And Nick and Niece are in the luggage cart, hucking stuff out off the bridge.
Why are they hucking stuff off out the bridge
They
again?
came to steal stuff from the train.
Oh, so this is part of the plan.
Yeah, so they're throwing it to the river. And this is why, in episode 1, we see Shanae floating on luggage in the river. Because these two are chucking stuff into the river and she jumps into the river to get off the train.
Right. That makes more sense. I just thought they were hucking stuff off for the fun of it. Because I forgot they were doing a
We're
heist.
bored, let's just throw some stuff into the river.
We need to make a forward operating base. We need more room.
Jacuzzi didn't cry one bit when he got that tattoo. Then why does he cry all the time? Meanwhile, Jacuzzi is on the roof having his boss battle with Mr. Goose.
Mr. Flamethrower Man is like, well, you dumb cuck.
Have you prepared yourself, tattoo boy?
I have a flamethrower and you have what? An iron will?
Oh no, my flamethrower isn't working. Flashback to when he got knocked on his back by the rope that Isaac and Maria were flown through the air on. And he landed on his back where the flamethrower tank is, damaging the mechanism.
It couldn't be!
How could it be? No!
I was the chosen one!
Jacuzzi runs forward and starts repeatedly headbutting him.
For no reason.
He's got hands.
He could punch, he could kick, but he decides, no, I can't cry anymore. I'll headbutt him.
And as he's headbutting him, he's flashing back to a time in his childhood where Niece is covered in burn scars and bandages, being like, there are times in your life where you want to cry, but you can't cry. So in the regular times, I'll cry a lot. So when it's important, I won't have any tears left.
I'm not sure that's how that works, but okay.
Hey, credit where it's due, it's working for him.
I guess.
And then we see his face as he's doing all this headbutting, and he is resolute and angry and very heroic.
And he's not crying.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it now.
And Nick and Niece are like, hey Niece, you jump off and I'll go help him. But she doesn't. She goes up and helps him. Oh wait, hang on. Yeah, I got the wrong way around. She's like, Nick, you jump off and go and meet up with the rest of our gang, and I'll go get Jacuzzi.
So she does.
Yeah.
And he jumps off.
Meanwhile, Mr. Goose unveils like his Batman gadget that is like a fist with a gun on it, and he's like, if you press it to someone and clench the fist, it shoots them. And then it doesn't really come up.
Well, I mean, he shoots Jacuzzi once.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, and that's why he's bleeding out on the roof of the train.
And he's like, I got this.
Yeah,
And
so
then
out of nowhere, he's just shot him and been like, pretty nifty, huh? One bullet.
time for me to flamethrower you again. And then all this red blood goop starts seeping along the train, and he's like, oh, what's this? What's this? I've got a scorch it all. Could it be the rail tracer?
Says Jacuzzi in his
Yeah.
normal, oh God!
Yeah. Oh, jeez, Niece.
Oh, jeez, I got this Chicago accent.
Belch. Ugh, Jacuzzi, you gotta put this cherry bomb up your butt, Jacuzzi. That's my Rick. It's not very good.
But niece, why you sounded like a 50-year-old man?
Marty. There we go. That's better.
I mean, sure.
It's better. It's not good.
You gotta have more gravel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My problem, I've got these golden pipes. I'll never be able to do a good grizzle.
You've just got these perfectly contoured vocal
So I
cords.
think what's happening here with all this red goo is that it is Cheslaw's blood, because he's
Correct.
back on the top of the train now,
Yep.
slowly returning to him.
Yes.
But everyone else is just seeing all this blood slither on top of the roof of the train and getting understandably freaked out by that.
Well, it has to go.
It's got to travel back to it.
Yeah, it's got to travel back, and it was like 100 meters behind everyone. So
and it's a lot of blood.
it's a lot of. I mean, that's an arm's worth of blood, and then another arm's worth of blood. And
So
probably
they're
the
like,
other two
is
limbs.
this the rail tracer, the monster attacking us? No, it's actually just blood passing you by, but it forms a very convenient distraction.
1930.
Crime alley. Ennis is on top of the car with a knife, being like, hey, Isaac and Maria, I'm really glad that I got to know you in the last, 10 hours. You've really taught me a lot about being a human, and my dad's about to kill me with a thought, so could you please remember me always?
And so they're like,
What?
But Ennis, what
And then
the
she
fuck?
runs and she stabs him in the back.
And Zillard is about to eat. What was that?
That's the noise of getting stabbed, as Sean Connery taught us.
Now hang on a minute.
Not Sean
I know.
Connery,
Guy from Lord of the Rings.
guy from Star Wars, guy from Dracula. What's his fucking name?
Christopher Lee.
Yeah,
Yeah, Christopher Lee's like, no.
this is the sound you make when you're stabbed in the lungs.
I do love in Lord of the Rings where Peter Jackson is like, so I wanted him to make this sound, and I just needed him, from stab from the back. Okay, now when that happens, you go, and then It cuts away to the interview with Christopher Lee. Now, when I heard that, I said, you shut your mouth, all right? I know what a man sounds like when he gets stabbed in the
Yeah,
back.
I did
all right?
terrible things in the war.
All right, I understand, all right? And it comes from the lungs because they're losing their air. And then it cuts back to Peter. He's like, I've never been more scared in my entire life than when he was telling me that.
So Mr. Goose is on top of the train and he's like, burn, burn, burn. I fell into a burning ring of fire.
Meanwhile, Jacuzzi's all like, this dumb idiot.
Meanwhile, Cheslaw's consciousness slowly returns and Isaac and Maria are above him like, Cheslaw, you've got to come back to us. Don't go into the light, Cheslaw.
It's all a lie. They're gonna eat me. I have to eat them before they eat me.
Like 10 meters away where the boss battle is occurring, there's a huge explosion because Jacuzzi threw his cherry bomb into the fire.
The cherry bomb that Nice gave him, which
Yeah.
is signifying some kind of connection.
What are you planning to do to me without any weapons, kid? There's a gun in my heart! Which is, of course, the thing Isaac said to him when he was like, I'm gonna go kill the rail tracer.
Oh shit, he did. I just thought it was bad writing.
Okay.
I
No, it's a
forgot.
callback.
Oh, there you go.
And he tackles him, and there's like a spear tackle, and it works out such that Jacuzzi throws himself bodily so that he lands on the very edge of the train, and Mr. Goose falls off the back, and his fuel tank explodes, presumably killing him.
Ah, classic.
He's been rail traced.
Take that, you dumb goose.
Then all the red blood comes back to where Isaac and Maria and Cheslaw are, and they're like, oh no, the rail tracer's gonna eat what's left of Cheslaw. Quick, hug him and throw our bodies onto him.
Cheslaw's all like, what are you
And Cheslaw's
doing?
blood returns, and he's fine now.
And they're all like, oh my god, Cheslaw, you're okay.
Nice helps Jacuzzi crawl back onto the top of the train. It's like, we did it. We got the treasure that wasn't really focused on in
Any
the story
real
at all,
detail?
but we were doing in the background this whole time. And the sun is rising, and we're in love, and we're on top of a train.
And Jacuzzi is just like, yeah, things are pretty alright.
Maybe
now.
I'll stop crying so much, because I've cried enough for you, too. And then, look, there's the rail tracer standing on top of the train looking at us. And there's Claire.
Oh,
And he's backlit in that spooky way, like before we realised who he was.
yeah. And then Jacuzzi's like, well, I guess I gotta go cut a motherfucker.
But then he just leaps away.
He's like, hush, hush.
Huh. I guess we made friends with the rail tracer after all.
Turns out he wasn't a man, he was a friend.
No, he was a man.
He was definitely still a human, but you know.
Ennis has stabbed Zillard in the back and he's like, I knew you would betray me, for all of the creatures I've created have betrayed me once they learned how to be humans. I'm gonna kill you with a thought now. And like he turns off her legs.
And then he's like,
With his
I'm
mind.
not just gonna kill you. I'm gonna make
gonna-
you suffer for the insolence that you have displayed to me. You little fucking
Oh,
homunculus.
but in Zillard's hubris, he failed to account for the power of friendship because Isaac and Maria start throwing like their dust bombs at him, and it's moderately distracting.
And he's like, what the hell's wrong with you two?
What did you do to Ennis? What did you do to Ennis? They're shouting. We love Ennis.
Why don't you stop killing Ennis?
Yeah.
Why don't you stop killing Ennis?
And then Firo's like, hey, I'd like to know that as well. What? Aren't you dead? And you and all the Gandors? Didn't you all get shot up?
And they're all like, no, we're
And then all the
alive."
dudes with that Zillard shot up with the Tommy gun in the restaurant all stick their heads out the window like, hey, Miser, we're not dead.
And Mice is all like, oh, fuck.
And Zillard is like, you drank it. You drank my precious elixir. And then, of course, you remember Randy and Petro from getting ready from the party?
Yeah, who'd burned down the entire
Yep.
warehouse.
They throw some kerosene onto Zillard through a window and set him on fire.
And they're all like, we burned down some warehouses.
But never a person before.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah, we're pyromaniacs.
Oh, man, look at him go. And he's just on fire. Be like,
Ah! And Ennis on the ground is giving them tutorials, like, you've got to put your right hand on his head and think about eating him.
So Firo runs on over and he's all like, alrighty, here I go.
And in a callback to his amazing knife fight skills, Zillard tries to eat him first, but Firo cuts his hand up real good.
He literally cuts it in half.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Get out of my... I'm walking here! Vroom.
so then he
eats him.
He slams his head onto fiery Zillard and then consumes him. And now he has all of his knowledge and memories.
Yeah.
Pretty dark.
He has inherited his memes, so in a certain sense, he has become him.
But not his genes. Well, I
of
guess
course
also his
I
genes.
suppose so.
Because he's also eaten his entire body.
Yeah.
So in a sense, he's also yeah, okay, sure.
I'm back on top of the train with Cheslaw. Oh, Cheslaw's fine. Oh, we love him. But I'm so scared. Why wouldn't you eat me? It would be so easy for you. And Cheslaw is like weakly reaching up his right hand towards Isaac's head, and then Isaac clasps his hand with 2 hands and is like, he's alive, we're so happy.
My baby boy, he's all good. And Maria's like, oh, he's alive. And Isaac's like, he's still alive.
I wonder how his wounds healed so fast, Isaac. Oh, that's easy to explain, Maria. The rail tracer must have realized he was a good boy and saved his life.
And Cheslaw's like, oh, they're actually just idiots.
Yeah. But he's touched by it, and he's like, no, I need to confess, I'm not actually a good boy. I'm a bad little boy. And they're like, oh, Cheslaw,
Don't be silly.
Only a true good boy would tell us he's a bad boy.
And then they just hug him a bit, and they're all like, oh, Cheslaw.
Oh, Cheslaw.
Oh, Cheslaw. What a name.
You lied to us to protect our feelings. You truly are the goodest boy. And they're crying.
And Cheslaw's like, what the fuck is wrong with these people?
But he's also touched.
He suddenly has a deep human connection for the first time in possibly 200 years.
First time in possibly ever.
Yeah.
Back in the alleyway.
Crime alley.
Yep. Anna still thinks she's dying. And
She's like, let me die.
Please eat me and learn how I feel about Isaac and Maria and tell them. Not about you, Firo. I don't really know you. It's weird that you have such strong feelings for me.
You found a cuff of mine and now you seem enamored with me. That's weird. Okay, just we can be friends, but like, yikes.
But Firo's like, no, don't worry. I learned how to kill you with a thought, but I also learned how to heal you with a thought. And then he does.
And she's like, oh shit.
I'm alive now.
That's convenient, but how'd you know what to do?
Oh, I ate Zilla.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Firo. I'm Ennis. I know. Yeah, but I wanted to hear you say it.
Oh, well, that's
And then
weird.
Then all the mobsters are like, ooh, Firo's got a girlfriend.
And Firo's like, cut it out,
And then
you
Isaac
two.
and Maria run down the alleyway like, ooh.
Not you two as well.
Good japes, good japes. 1932.
The Gandor family and Eve Genoard are standing in a room.
With with Don Bartolo Runarada. He's like, where's Dallas Genoard? Flashback to them putting Dallas... They've got Dallas and his 2 anonymous goons tied up in
a couple of like
steel
barrels.
drums.
Yeah.
And they're filling those steel drums with concrete.
And they're like, well, you know what? You are such a nuisance, but we know you can't die. So.
We learned that you won't die from wounds, but will from age. So we're just gonna chuck you into the bottom of the Hudson River for like 50 years.
Yep.
Yeah, and Keith walks up and wordlessly puts some playing cards in Dallas's.
This will keep you entertained, bucko.
The very same playing cards we see floating in water in that one shot in the opening sequence.
Ooh, what a spoiler.
Poor Dallas. Like, he's a real prick, but, you know... drowning for the 2 years or whatever it is, constantly, very bad. But the prospect of constantly drowning for the rest of your natural life,
Yeah, that's not so
that's just
good.
horrifying.
But that's the way it's got to be.
Yep.
I'm doing the Italian hold up your hand with all fingers touching one another, being
Sure.
like, "You come into my family, I'll bury you in a river."
And Eve is like, wow, that's horrible. And Luck is like, look, honestly, no regrets. He sucked.
You got my condolences, but that guy's a fucking asshole.
He shot me in the head. I didn't die, but he did kill like 3 of my close associates.
Just imagine if I wasn't immortal. I'd be dead.
Yeah.
What? I mean, Eve, for fuck's sake, look at me here. Like,
No regrets.
come on, he killed me.
That said,
Condolences for you. I
Yeah.
mean, you understand. But that also
And
said, like,
Don-
such an asshole.
Don Runarada is like, so if you threw him down there, can we go pick him up?
I would prefer you didn't.
But I won't stop you. What are you going to do with my brother? We're going to research his immortality. Can I see him? Yeah, sure, whatever.
Wait, was that all Runarada, man?
Oh, that was Runarada and Eve.
Oh, so Eve was like, can I see him?
Yeah.
Right.
Can I see it? No.
No. All right, then.
Seymour, I'm drowning for 50 years.
No,
mother, it's just the Hudson River. Oh, and then, okay, so here's my beef with this next couple of lines.
Oh,
So,
I didn't know you knew what the next couple of lines were or that you had beef with them, but explain to me both prospects.
Explain to me how you didn't think I knew what the next couple of lines were
Well-
for the show I've watched.
I don't remember what they are, and ergo, no one in the world can know what they are because they don't exist yet.
So Don Runarada is like, hey, just to clarify, I didn't order the murders of Raymond and Jeffrey, your father and brother. Yeah, but that was all the work of Gustavo, who you might recall is unconscious on the floor here.
And Gustavo's like, oh, boss!
Boss, you came to rescue me. And then, without even like
Batting an eye.
without even shaking his posture, Don Runarada just shoots him in the forehead.
And he just goes, yeah, I think this demonstrates how I feel about this whole scenario.
But here's my beef.
Okay.
All he's done is demonstrated that he kills without remorse.
Yep.
So, if anything, that just undermines my trust in him.
No, he kills without remorse if someone messes up and damages, the reputation of the family.
But a man who could shoot his subordinate in the head so remorselessly would have no qualms about lying about murders he's ordered.
But at the same time, he's still just like, this guy did it. Hey, boss, I'm sorry. Pfft, he won't be causing any more trouble anymore.
Anyway, we're gonna go now. Sorry for disturbing you Gandalf family.
Hey, that's fine, man. We're on good terms now.
Everyone's getting off the train.
In 1931?
Yeah.
Okay.
Isaac and... It's the scene from episode 1.
Yeah.
Isaac and Misa and Firo and Maria and Ennis is there and they're all hugging. Hooray!
Oh, what a good time.
And Maria introduces Cheslaw to Ennis. It's like, look, it's a little boy we got you. You said you were lonely and we forgot to get you a souvenir, but we made friends with this little boy who needs a family.
And boy, oh boy, that's a souvenir
An
you
authentic
pay for.
human child.
Look, he can even take care of himself when he's older, I guess.
And Cheslaw and Misa meet each other, game recognized game, internal Cheslaw monologue. I was on my way here to New York to kill Misa.
I was actually just going to eat Misa to...
The nadir of his moral event horizon.
He was just like, I need to eat him, but no, I need to do it.
And it's the dissonance between what's happening with Cheslaw's body and his internal monologue. And he's like, now Misa is going to put his hand on my head and eat me because he's bigger and stronger than me. And I've got to do it before he does me. And Misa slowly puts his hand on Cheslaw's head.
His left hand.
And, oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And affectionately tassels his hair and is like, Cheslaw, it's so good to see you again. It's all right. Don't let him... And his internal monologue is like, no, don't be sentimental. Close your heart to it, boy.
Don't let him trick you.
But then he starts crying and they hug.
And he's like, I've missed you so much.
It's never going to be like it was before, but it will be. Hooray!
Misa's like, don't worry, it already is.
Back in Crime Alley, Misa, I understand everything now, says Firo.
I've eaten the big bad.
Yeah.
I understand the
I
big bad.
have his memes, but I also have the memes of your dead brother.
I'm still just Firo, though. I've got real
I'm
protagonist
still kind
energy.
of an idiot.
And Misa's like,
I feel like going Yahoo! And then all the other mobsters are like, I don't understand anything, but Yahoo!
and then Misa's like, I have afflicted you with this curse. Oh, this is bad.
Nah, man, we feel great. Brief flashback to when we immediately cut away after we realised that Isaac hadn't been shot in the head. And they're all celebrating Firo's induction, and Isaac and Maria are like, well, it's the least we could do for them letting us join their party for us to share around this liquor we have.
The least we can do, giving them immortality.
And they pour the liquor, aka immortality elixir, into everyone's cups. They all share a toast and unknowingly all become immortal.
I am so glad that's how it went down. I am so glad.
Hooray! And it's Isaac and the rest of the Camoristas. Sorry, Firo and the rest of the Camoristas. Isaac and Maria and Luck and the Gandors too.
And they're all having a great time.
They're having a party, yeah. So I don't really understand what happens here. So Misa is looking sadly on at Firo and Ennis and is like, oh, Credo, is it okay? He says in his authentic European accent.
His good old-fashioned brother, yeah.
Yep. And then Luck is like in a doorway nearby and he's like, so he did notice. In the end, I didn't stop him, but I'm sure it will be okay. And I have no idea what that's about.
In the end, he did notice.
I mean, we know these subtitles
Yeah.
aren't reliable, but per the subtitles, so he noticed. In the end, I didn't stop him. We'll all be able to get along for a long time, or so I thought anyway.
Maybe it's alluding to the fact he knew that the immortality elixir was I don't know, but even he wouldn't
Maybe?
know. I don't know.
Meanwhile, as the credits are rolling, blood-soaked Claire Stanfield, aka the young conductor, aka the rail tracer, is on the roof of the carriage reading the surprisingly long message that Shanae left him.
That's just like, my dear rail tracer.
I'll be waiting for you on the beach.
Oh, God.
I'm waiting for you in Manhattan. I will forever wait for you. Please come and... It's very Arnold-y.
It's extremely
Please
ugly.
come and find me. I will also try to find you. Manhattan? But that's friggin' huge.
That's going to take ages to find anyone in.
And I never gave her my name.
Ah, crap.
What's wrong with me? I should have said, hi, you're quite beautiful. I'm Claire Stanfield, aka the rail tracer.
Ah, God, I'm even covered in blood. Look at me.
I should have put on one of those crisp white suits from those men I killed.
I smell like shit.
I gotta go have a shower.
Ah, jeez.
I should probably go fulfill my obligations to the Gandors before I find her. Nick,
Yes.
the year is 2001.
Blade 2 has just been released.
It's New York City, 2001. What could possibly go wrong? A certain Baccano is
Jesus
about to occur.
Oh my God.
Isaac and Maria in New York in 2001 promises to be a Baccano we will never forget.
Oh no. There was recently a fun.
I don't want to cut you off, but I was definitely looking acutely at these shots of the New York skyline. Just
being
we
like-
see in 2001 Baccano to determine if we are pre or post 9/11.
No. There was a really good episode of Funhouse where they were like, we're going back to 2001. All the best things happened in 2001. January, this song was number 1. February, this song was number 1. And it goes down and down. And then it gets to September and they go, we've had a horrible month. And it's like, oh no. And then November, we are taking the fight back. It's like, oh Jesus.
We're going to enter into a war on flimsy and, in retrospect, very obviously false pretenses.
Oh, Jesus. Anyway.
Two figures in, I would describe as like 70s rocker and hippie gear.
Yep. 60s, 70s kind of vibe,
Sort of,
disco and...
Jimi Hendrix, Bob Dylan-y.
Yep, I'd say that. In fact, those would be the two vibes I've got from these two right now.
Yep. Isaac and Maria are stealing people's cell phones because they're 5G truthless.
The microwaves are causing families to fall apart.
Yeah.
Instead of having a conversation, they're just playing games.
The collapse of the family.
It's unsurmountable.
A plan to fight the decrease in childbirth. A very quintessentially Japanese issue. Not something that really come up in 2001 era United States.
No, we had other problems to deal with.
Yeah.
So they're just like, that's right. We're taking the fight back to them. We're taking their cell phones and we're bringing the family unit back together. We're going to solve America.
Hey, wait a second, Maria.
Yeah, I'm Maria. Yep, go on.
I like in the dub how they are peppering into their dialogue like just various like 60s slang.
Hey, cool fella.
Yeah. Hey, Daddy-O.
Yeah, hot mama.
Hey, are we immortal?
I think we are.
Oh my god. And they scream and they cry. Every day's a birthday.
Hooray!
And we pan up to a satellite in the sky, and like orbiting the Earth because it's the future now.
Yep.
I really thought they were going to pan up to an aeroplane.
Jesus fucking
not
Christ.
doing a deliberate 9/11
Jesus
thing, but just
Christ.
doing like future.
Yeah. And then you would be like, wow, this is not aged.
Yeah.
Oh no. But no, satellite, and then...
And then final phrase, many birthdays to come.
Aw.
The end of Baccano TV run.
But wait, there's more.
There is more.
Baccano OVA episode number 1.
Graham Spector's Love and Peace.
What could it possibly mean? Who could Graham Spector be? What is Baccano?
In 1931, an immortal named Elmer watches Firo, Ennis, and Misa reunite with Isaac, Maria, and Cheslaw. Later, he visits Shanae's immortal father, Huey. I would say that's a very small portion of this episode.
That doesn't even remotely
That's
capture...
one of like the 4 subplots, and I would say the smallest of them.
Yep. How curious.
How curious. What a Baccano.
So, we start with the familiar... We were doing
Flawless.
two completely
Flawless.
separate things.
It's post Crime Alley.
1931 still?
I think it's pre-train, post Crime Alley.
Okay, cool.
Everyone who became immortal in Crime Alley, and I mean literally everyone,
Is
setting up dominoes in a big domino pushover thingy.
the first shots are like Isaac and Maria very seriously placing one black domino.
Firo
onto the
walks
floor.
in and is like, hey, what are you guys doing? And
Like,
they scream.
Oh my god, be very quiet.
And they're pointing. You'll make it collapse.
You'll make it collapse.
And then we just get gradually shots of everyone else participating.
Ennis, Miser.
Oh, it's actually 1932.
Oh,
So this must be post-train.
Yeah. So like Ennis, Miser.
Well, we see Miser in the background poring over some documents for a while, and what we eventually realise is that he is looking over the master design of this.
Huge domino plan.
But the waitress from the restaurant, who's we can learn their name is Ling.
Lynn?
Oh, sure,
Leah?
Lynn.
Can't remember.
I think. Randy and Petzo are busy getting ready for the dominoes.
Oh, you just love to put them down,
Annis.
Looking sharp.
Everyone loves Annis.
Everyone should be asking, where is Ennis? And the answer is dominoes.
Yeah.
And then we get like
A guy that we thought was Luck, but is Ronnie. We don't know who Ronnie is.
Yep. And Fear's like, well, geez, this is a weird operation.
Very brief shot in the background of the lady whose name I can't remember, but is the white-haired immortal from the Advena Avis, who Zillard tried to drink, but couldn't, because she hadn't drunk the elixir yet, and was the spouse of Miser's brother.
I thought she died.
No.
No, as in from age.
Oh, because remember at the shot of that episode, we got some, time passing into future montage, and we saw someone that we could only assume was her because of the hair color and other design traits singing at a jazz club.
True.
So from that, we have to surmise that either she had some elixir that she drank later, or seeing time pass, Miser shared it with her.
We have to.
We have to. We have no choice.
Look.
Have no choice but to stand.
We have to accept this reality, even if we can't accept it.
It's time to push the dominoes. Firo accidentally pushes the dominoes in the wrong way, and everyone gets mad.
And then, title card.
Statue of Liberty, Earth all along.
Underneath the statue, arguably, or just some random
No,
shed.
just on the docks.
On the docks.
In a warehouse, a man we've never met named Graham Spector is doing a big monologue about today was meant to be our special day where Lad Russo would come to New York and we would fuck shit up.
They would say our names like gods. They would speak so highly of Lad Russo, we would be men among men.
And he is he's another joker.
Literally another joker.
So many jokers in this pack of Baccanos.
He's a crazy psychopath who loves
got a
wrenches.
big wrench. He loves dismantling things.
He likes tearing things apart, including people, ?
In a pinch.
In a pinch, yeah.
And he's talking to these anonymous goons and he's throwing this wrench around. He's like, let me tell you the sad tale of Graham Spector. He says it much more verbose. He's the same archetype as both Claire and Lad. Just an absolute narcissistic sociopath who talks too much.
So he could probably surmise what he's saying in 5 minutes. But instead he chooses the 30-minute version where he's like, but then when you
Boss
think
Lad
about
has
it,
been taken into police custody, so we've got to get into some big trouble in his honor. It's 1929.
my God, you summarized that so well.
Lad Russo has been sent to go, quote unquote, talk to the owners of a mechanics shop who's ripping off the Russo family. But uncle, if you send me to talk to someone, I'm going to assume you mean I should kill them all. Hey,
I never said you should do that.
I just said you should
go
quote,
talk. You should just slips under the table a note that specifically says murder them all. Talk to them, all right?
Oh, I love you so much, uncle. I'm going to pretend I'm going to kill you in a year.
And then he walks out the door. And then Uncle's
this is a great bit. Uncle is like, oh, what a crazy bastard. And Lad sticks his head back in what?
What did you say? He's like, I said get the hell out of here.
Lad he's shot everyone into this shop and he's put his gun up to the owner's head and he's like, hey, tell me what's going on. No, there was no big boss. I'm just... Oh, so it was unprovoked. Oh, no, please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. And he's shooting the car to intimidate the guy. Are you calling me a fool? I'm going to kill you. You should be glad about that.
And then he just like hurdles him away.
But then who is in the doorway? It's Graham Spector.
The guy from only this episode.
He catches Lad's bullet in the
Wrench
in
thing.
the adjustable node of his spanner.
Now, that's not how shotguns work, but he catches the bullet. And he's all like, well.
You've impressed me, but you've also hurt my feelings. So now I'm gonna really up the anime quotient of these fight scenes by smashing the ground up hugely.
And so he literally slams his wrench into the ground.
Huge shockwave.
Huge shockwave goes out to the point where the ground lurches up.
Like big Dragon Ball Z style crater where he hits the ground with his
Yeah.
wrench.
So not even like, oh, it's a little crater where the wrench hit. It's like, no, it's an enormous fuck off huge, like, the entire garage is now in tatters.
In a later scene where you see this guy, as he says, dismantle a car without it touching the ground. And when he was doing it, it's like, is this just like a really hyper-stylized way of showing him dismantling his car really quickly? But then he says, I dismantled it before it touched the ground.
You guys saw me, right? It's like, okay, it's literal.
Lad's leaping through the sky, shooting at him, they're fighting, and it ends up in this situation where Lad is hanging from like an overhanging walkway.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm gonna shoot you now. Shoot.
And then the guy, Graham Spector, grabs the bullet.
He knocks it back with his wrench.
Yeah,
He's
knocks it back.
A guy who protects a thief is just a thief. Oh yeah? Well, what about a guy who gets hit by a bullet that's shot at a guy who protects a thief?
Is he a thief?
Who's a thief here? I'm confused. And like, I turned to you at this point and I was like, just kiss already.
So they just rant about their philosophies a bit. Dude's like, Graham Spector gets caught in a position where he's pushed to the ground.
And eventually he runs up and like, Lad accepts the body blow of the wrench so that he can, I don't know, shoot or punch or knife Graham. It's not exactly clear.
I think he just like maybe headbutts him.
Okay, and Lad wins.
And Lad wins basically.
It's like, hey, I really respect you, man, and now we're best friends.
So the thing is, what happens is
I love impudent, cheeky bastards like you.
the Graham Spector basically goes, do with me what you want, and then Lad's like, I'm not gonna do with you what I want.
Yeah.
You wanna die?
You friggin'
Nah.
rule, man.
You seem like a crazy motherfucker who thinks that he'll die at any moment. That's great.
And Lad shoots the guy who was watching this whole exchange of blows, and then starts laughing, and then Graham starts laughing, and they're
They
friends
all
now.
start laughing together.
And then and Graham in New York is like, and that's my tragic tale. I fought a guy who now I'm really good friends with, and now he's in prison.
Look at my wrench.
Pretty much.
He really likes this wrench.
He really likes this wrench. And his mooks are just watching like,
1931.
It's that same scene of everyone meeting off the train. But who's watching them? It's Mr. Wants to make everyone smile from the Advena Avas.
That one guy who did the handstand and fell off.
What was his friggin' name?
Elmer?
Yeah, Elmer. And we'd previously seen a scene of him in the quote-unquote present, speaking with Miser, being like, yep, I can definitely tell that Zillard is lurking in the wings. But of course now this is a post-Zillard era. So he's watching them and he's like, still a bit too early for you to know I'm here. Time to go see Huey.
Yep, just for no reason other than that.
Bribed his way into Huey's cell and is like, hello, what are you doing here, Elmer?
Is Huey French?
Huey's French. Huey Laforet.
But
That's
no,
why
his name is French.
That's
but
why
does he
he's
have-
been speaking with a French accent this whole time,
He
Nick.
was speaking with a French accent?
Yep.
Oh, I thought it was just... Oh, okay. All right, never mind.
To think that you, of all people, would bribe people, Elmer, and you always wanted to make people smile.
Oh, I make them smile with money.
Well, you got me there. Why are you here?
Well, I just want to put a smile on your face.
What?
Let's put a smile on that face.
Why
I'm the
so
Joker.
serious?
Joker's trick.
Elmer's trick.
Literally, that seems to be the only motivation he has here.
Yeah, he does what he like joke. He
Stretches out his eyes and
He
mouth.
does the thing that new Joker does.
Oh, Joaquin
Phoenix.
Except less creepy.
Puts his finger pretty creepy. Puts his fingers in his mouth and his eyes to force a rictus grin.
Yeah, but he's trying to be all like happy and go-getter. He's like,
Give us
come
a.
on.
He's still got like a vaguely Cockney accent. Like, give us a grin, Huey.
And Huey's like, you fucking idiot.
I was sure that one of these two people was going to die in this scene.
Huey gives a little smile.
Let me tell you about my precious daughter.
She is so beautiful. She is also a little bit Francais.
She is also pretty weird. You see, it was 1922 and we were talking on a big hill, and I was like, my beautiful daughter, you will do anything for me. I will give you secret immortality knowledge, but you must never tell anyone or use it yourself.
But for that, I will give you a gift.
I shall grant you a boon.
A wish. A single...
Oh, father, please take my voice away from me so that I may never betray you.
My daughter.
My
That is the perfect request.
My daughter, I am like Huey, and you are just like Quiet. Truly, we are a pair of diamond dogs.
Fuck. And so Huey's like, can you imagine a daughter that would do that for you? On the request that she not share the secret, she specifically asked for her voice to be taken? What a perfect angel.
I should like you to meet her, Elmer. Maybe you will not be so cheery anymore, or maybe you will make her smile. I do not know these things, for I am in prison, and it has been a while since I have seen her.
Elmer is no longer in the cell as he's saying these things.
Yep.
And Elmer's like, I've learned something about happiness and sadness, and it's that they're not too dissimilar. They can hit you at any moment. And I think that's something that your daughter's going to find out pretty soon as well, Huey.
Who am I talking to?
Neither of them are in the same room anymore. Elmer's already out of the building.
And
when
it's
he's
not
saying
one of
this.
those things where it's like we're seeing the echoes of their conversation as they are leaving, because they are saying it out loud as they are alone.
Yeah.
Shane Lafferay is in a Manhattan coffee bar reading a newspaper which has 2 headlines about Huey Lafferay. Huey Lafferay proven guilty. Huey Lafferay, menacing traitor to the US government transported. Subheader, in Today to the Big Apple from Canada where he was in hiding. What else is in the news? Let's see what else is in the news today.
What newspaper is this?
Coloured women find... It's cut off, but it says coloured women find places in Ind. Interesting.
Okay, sure.
Protesters are charged with, I want to say, attempted murder.
Yeah, that looks like attempted murder. What's the top one?
Thousands of prisoners annihilated?
Junks says. Oh, Judge says.
Briefly, Asia Pacific. Graham
Shanae
Spector.
Feel sad.
Yep, Graham Spector dismantles a whole car without it touching the ground with his big wrench.
No one, including us, really understands how that's possible, but it happens.
Hey, I'm Graham Spector. I'm Graham Spector here. Welcome to my very underground off-Broadway show. By overcoming sadness, I have achieved a higher stage of human existence. Don't you guys think?
By overcoming sadness, I've overcome myself. What is that?
It's like the soft beat of his there is soft jazz playing in the soundtrack this whole time, but this whole thing is his very poorly thought out one man show. You know?
Oh, is this like the doom 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 doom?
Graham Spector is what they call me. And as he's doing his one-man show, he's dismantling... Every night in this show, I tell you about my life as I dismantle a car.
Let me tell you a tale, kiddo.
Let me tell you how I met Lad Russo.
Hey, it was 1929. We was fightins, and I was winnins. And then we laughed a bit about this.
What's a scheme we can do? Oh, well, there's a new gang that's moved into town going in and out of Millionaire Row. It's Jacuzzi and gang.
Yeah, and they're
Maybe we could meet up with them, take over their gang, and then reap the benefits.
You know, I think that's a great idea.
This is getting me so excited. Dismantle, 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 he's saying. I want to take it all apart.
He seems to have some kind of fetish for dismantling, and or when he gets excited, he can't help but dismantle things, including people. Or so we think.
No, that scheme is too cowardly. Gonna kill you with my wrench now.
So we do a cutaway where he slams his wrench into him, but we don't see him do it. We just hear a scream and then BAM!
Capiche?
That is what he says.
Yep.
We cut away.
Rachel has been sent by the director of the Daily Days as a thank you for reporting on the Flying Pussyfoot incident to the honey shop near the entrance to Little Italy.
Ooh.
There, she sees Cheslaw and Ennis walking by.
She's shocked.
You're supposed to be dead!
And Cheslaw's like, and you're supposed to shut the fuck up. Ennis, do you mind if I talk to this young lady?
He's still strangely doing the innocent child act in front of Ennis, even though she knows all about immortality. Miss Ennis, may I speak to this lady, please?
Ennis doesn't get a word in, and they just run off to an alleyway.
So, when did you see... Consider yourself.
Cheslaw.
Consider yourself. Immortality. I'm making a play to eat everyone else who's left.
Da-da-da-da-da-dun.
Consider yourself. Shut up. Better not tell anyone.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm Cheslaw.
And this has been my song.
So, did you see me when I was shot in the head or tied to the tracks?
Rachel's like, but you.
My name's Benjamin, aka Thomas, depending on if you're listening to the subtitles or the dub.
Oh, okay. Nice to meet you, Benjamin or Thomas.
No, actually, that's a lie. I was just testing. You're not immortal. I'm Cheslaw Mayer.
Okay. But what? How? Why are you alive? What?
You work for the Daily Days, so you'll figure it all out anyways. I may as well just tell you. You see, I'm immortal.
Okie dokie. Rachel gets a mad crash course.
I'm pretty fucked up, but I'm in kind of a good place right now, so I'm in a good mood, so I'll tell you some shit.
He just leans up against the wall being like, all right, you little shit, let me tell you a tale. And he just gives her a crash course that we don't see in Immortality.
Yep.
We cut back
Graham.
to Graham, who slammed his wrench next to the guy's head.
Tell me about this gang.
And he's like, I was playing with you, fool. Come on. Lay him out.
There's a guy with a tattoo of a sword. Oh, Jacuzzi Splot. Yeah, I've got his wanted poster over here.
Ah.
Yeah, let's go have a chat with this Jacuzzi Splot.
Here's the plan. We go talk to him. We intimidate him.
We become his best friend.
We become his best friends.
He starts ranting about Love and Peace. Of course, Graham Spector's Love and Peace is the title of this episode.
Of course.
If we catch Jacuzzi, the Russo higher-ups will pay us. And if we get caught, or if we get in trouble, or if it goes really well, it will be in tribute to Lad, who is now in prison.
And then he'll take the fall for us.
No, not that.
Never mind.
So if we kidnap this Eve girl to start, that'll be real sweet too. But as you all know, I prefer older women, he says.
When he was saying, I love kidnapping girls, I immediately went, ooh. And then when he said, oh, but I prefer older women, I went, okay, that's no longer weird. No longer
Or
weird,
is
I
it
guess.
more weird?
You know, it depends, you know?
It's a real one of those
Phrasing things.
raising a lot of questions answered by my shirt situation.
What?
That's an old meme. I can't remember. I can't remember what the exact context is, so I'll make it up. It's something like my "I'm not a pedophile" shirt is raising a lot of questions answered by my shirt.
Okay, sure.
That's not the exact thing, but it's something like that.
No, I will not answer the door for you. Is it like, but why would you answer the door for me? No, I will not answer the
it's
door.
crucially the shirt is going out of its way to deny something that wouldn't come up.
No, I did not murder 3 people.
Yeah, like that.
What, did you? No! No,
Or
why would you?
if it was Mads Mikkelsen's Hannibal,
Yeah.
it would be my I'm not a cannibal shirt is raising a lot of questions answered by my shirt.
I did not eat that guy who keeps seeing the deer.
Yeah, sure, Will Graham.
I did not eat Will Graham. Did you? No.
Oh, fuck.
What?
Guys, it was my birthday this past week, and I forgot to play Death Stranding again to get happy birthday from Mads Mikkelsen cutscenes.
It was your birthday this week?
Yes, Nick, thanks for remembering.
Oh, happy birthday. Did you get to play Death Stranding?
No, I forgot, I just said.
Oh, shit.
But I saw it last year.
Oh, but Mads.
Mads.
Good old Mads.
Apparently it's more accurately pronounced something like Mars.
Mads Mikkelsen. God, I wish I was as
Oh god,
cool
he
as
was
Mads
wasted
Mikkelsen.
in Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
Alas. But hey, who knows what he'll come up next.
Who would you like to see? Okay, I have 2 questions for you, Nick.
Go on. Hang on, this will be answered by my shirt.
I want to start with Baccano.
Okay.
Who would you like to see Mads Mikkelsen play in the live-action Baccano adaptation?
I want him to play the guy who was clearly a spy for the Daily Days,
Oh.
who gives 0 fucks, and he's just there with like this little candy piece.
I think he would do a good job with that role, but I think he'd be underutilized.
Do you think he should be Luck Gandor?
No. I think he would do a good miser, actually.
What if he was Zillard? Okay, yeah, maybe Miser, maybe.
I think because miser is like that friendly front with hidden depths,
Yeah, okay.
and also like the secret European accent.
True. He could make a great American accent.
Yeah.
And then be like, oh no, it was me, Mads Mikkelsen, all along. Listen to my accent, which sounds vaguely American, but still very Finnish. But I'm not even Finnish.
Isaac and Maria.
Who would I get to play them?
Yeah.
Ooh, Lano and Woodley. I don't know.
Okay. This might not be
Controversial take.
They might be a little old,
Ooh.
but I think Paul F. Tompkins and Lauren Lapkus.
I don't know who... Well, Paul F. Tompkins I do know. He's the guy who hosts that show where they drink and talk about things.
Oh yeah, it's been ages since they've done that. Speakeasy.
Yeah, that's the one. That's all I know him from.
He's also like a prolific podcaster and improviser, and he's also the voice of Mr. Peanut Butter in BoJack Horseman.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we're prolific podcasters and improvisers.
And Lauren Lapkus, great improviser, great sketch comedian. I don't know what her big, rememberable roles would be, other than things like she was in that bad Sherlock Holmes Will Ferrell movie, and she was in The Wrong Missy, starring Adam Sandler.
Lauren Lapkus sounds like a name. Was she in Between Two Ferns, the movie?
Yes.
Was she the secretary?
I haven't seen it.
She's got a... Yeah, that's her.
Now,
that's
hear me out.
That's her.
Hear me out on the three Gandor brothers.
God, here we go. Okay.
Just taking... Okay, this is taking it into a real stunt casting comedians I like territory.
Yeah.
But what about Auntie Donna as the Gandor brothers? Three distinctly non-comedic characters.
I reckon they would do a good job in the sense that Luck Gandor could be played by Broden, who does a really good...
No. Broden has to be one of the big burly ones. Oh, listen here, Dallas Genoard.
I guess? But then who plays Luck? This is such a niche...
Well, of course, Auntie
interest.
Donna's Big Old House of Fun is now available on Netflix
true.
everywhere.
True.
I want to say that Mark has to be...
Luck Gandor.
Yeah.
I guess so, but Broden does such a good, like... Alright, boys.
Yeah, so
what do we do
Broden
now?
is the bigger one who does talk.
Yes, okay. And then Zach, also a slightly big boy.
Poor Zach, underutilized in this role. He's got good physicality. Okay, who else have we got?
Firo.
Firo. Tricky.
I mean, who's got good protagonist energy? Kevin Bacon. Actually, Kevin Bacon should be Zillard, just for no other reason than because he knows everyone. Kevin Bacon is Kevin Bacon.
What about Oscar Isaac?
Who's Oscar Isaac?
Poe Dameron?
No, absolutely in no world would I have Oscar Isaac playing Firo. Now, if it was the guy who's playing Finn,
Yeah, okay.
that's a different
All right,
story. We're so
Lock it in. And who...
John Boyega?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really cool interview from him a little while back, just being like, nah, fuck Disney.
John Boyega is a cool fucking dude.
Yeah.
If I could have him on this podcast,
Mad
I
respect
would.
for John Boyega. Saw him out at the BLM protests in London this past year.
Yeah. No, he's a cool dude.
Yeah.
I do love the fact that he's just like, why would I stay with Star Wars if I'm done with Star Wars?
They mistreated me. They mistreated my good friend / co-worker.
Daisy Ridley?
I was thinking of, again, I've already forgotten his name. Poe Dameron.
Poe Dameron, yep. Oscar Isaac.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, man.
Who would play Jacuzzi Splot?
Well, I
One
mean...
of the Stranger Things kids?
No, it would have to be... It would have to be the guy...
Okay.
What's the name of the guy from Home Alone? The kid?
Oh my god,
He's-
he's so old
Yeah, he's
now.
like our age.
No, he's older than us.
Is he?
Yeah, man.
Not by much, though.
Like 5-10 years.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay
age.
Culkin. He's not that much older than
He
us.
totally is.
I thought he was our age.
He could be Lad Russo.
He could be Lad Russo, actually.
Macaulay Culkin is 40 years old, Nick.
Okay, so shit. He's like 11 years older than
Yeah.
me. Oh, God.
Who else is a main character in this show?
Ennis,
Yep.
obviously played by Paul Greer, or Elizabeth Olsen would be another
Who's
good one.
Elizabeth Olsen?
She's Scarlet Witch in the Marvel movies.
Okay, I was thinking someone more along the lines of like Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah, but
Same deadpan energy.
I guess, I suppose. But she would make a great Maria. That would be an amazing Maria.
Okay, so going back to the root question, Nick.
Yes.
Who would you like to see Mads Mikkelsen play in the live-action adaptation of any of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventures we've covered to date?
Ooh. Mads Mikkelsen Dio would be dope.
I feel like he's not got the right energy, though.
Oh, but he could. That's the
Okay,
thing.
I want Mads Mikkelsen, old Joseph Joestar.
That'd be pretty good.
No, old Joseph Joestar has to be, what's his fucking name? He played voices Mr. Krabs.
Oh, this guy!
Yeah.
I have no idea. I literally have no idea.
I'll show you a picture of him, because the resemblance, let me tell you, man, uncanny.
Man. We haven't even finished recapping the episode.
Yeah, we have.
Have we?
Yep.
Oh, God.
Clancy Brown.
Jesus. I don't think he does look like old Joseph Joestar, but you know what? I believe it. I would believe it. I believe that's an old Joseph Joestar.
Anyway, what else
Anyway,
is cool?
so basically we get love and peace from the guy, and then he's like, let's do this great plan where we undercut everyone and make money.
What are our highlights and lowlights in these episodes?
My highlight is gonna be Cheslaw being like, all right, you little shit, let me tell you some shit about
I'm
immortality
freaking
to
200
Rachel.
years old.
All right, look, immortality, let me explain it to you.
My highlight is Cheslaw getting his blood back on top of the train, and then with Isaac and Maria being like, oh, Cheslaw, we do love you, even though we only met you 12 hours ago.
The clasping of the hand thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it gets me. Also, honorable mention highlight. Well, it's the least we can do, right? The least we can do. Spread immortality elixir everywhere. Of course it was Isaac and Maria. Of course it was. Oh, so good.
What were our lowlights?
My lowlight is the moment where the dude tries to do the flamethrower thing, then realizes, no, it couldn't be. The
rail tracer.
the rail tracer, but like, it's just such a cheap kind of like, oh no, my flamethrower isn't working at exactly the time it shouldn't be working.
Well, he did fall on his back.
Yeah, but it's still just like, yeah.
My lowlight, also rail tracer centric, is like, we know Claire Stanfield's a pretty weird, fucked up guy.
Yeah.
I don't feel like he's had enough time to form an emotional connection with Shanae Laforet to be this into her.
I mean, he's had 4 sentences with her and then been like...
And a brief knife fight.
And he's like, wow, this lady, ooh, hello.
So
I feel
Nick...
like overall, just Claire has been just a weird character.
Yeah!
Just in the sense of like, we met him, he did some stuff, and then he
I do
left.
really like the
It's
fake out with the death of the young conductor.
Yes, but it's still just like, oh, weird. Okay, sure.
So Nick, we have 2 episodes of Baccano left. They are both, I assume, longer than most.
Yep.
But what do you think will happen in these 2 episodes? The first of which is entitled, The Delinquents That Arrive at the High-Class Neighborhood Are the Same as Always.
Okay.
And the second one, Carol realizes that the story cannot have an ending.
Carol.
Carol.
Tell me, Carol. Okay.
Tell me, Carol, what will the ending of this story be?
But boss, it can't have it.
Tell me, Nick.
I guess maybe it can end? 7
So,
points.
the delinquents.
The delinquents are obviously going to be Jacuzzi
And/or Graham.
and/or Graham. But, I wonder. It could just be that Jacuzzi goes up to, the place.
Yep.
And
apparently he's been hanging out at Millionaire Row.
Yep. And gets accosted by Graham Spector.
Yep.
We never see Maria, Isaac, or Firo, Miser, Ennis, any of them ever again. That they've had their time to shine, but it's just going to be Jacuzzi and this guy. This guy's going to be all like, all right, Jacuzzi, here's what I've got planned for you. But then out of fucking nowhere, conductor guy, Claire might show up. Or maybe, I don't know, the Gandors might show
Claire
up.
will be doing work with the Gandors.
Yeah, and so they might show up and be all like, hey, who's this fucking chump? There might be a little bit of a fight there.
And he'll be like, I can never die. Oh yeah, well I can also never die. Wrench.
Yeah, so it'll just be like, cool fight sequence.
Now, I want to clarify, I haven't seen these 2 episodes.
Ooh.
So I have no foreshadowing, I have no hints.
Even you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And then in the second OVA, we'll probably get through the entire conclusive arc of Graham Spector going, but if I couldn't win, then I have to lose.
And what's going on with Elmer and Huey?
Maybe Elmer is just trying to diffuse any situations with
centuries-long immortal feuding.
Yeah.
Elmer is just like, no, guys, get along.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe he's just like, oh, I just want to check up on everyone, make sure they're doing all right.
Make sure no one's eating anyone else.
Yeah, maybe.
Asking them questions that they would only know the answer to if they'd eaten someone else.
Well, so maybe we'll get another thing with Miser and him, maybe. Just to be like, I had to
Well, he was like, no, I can't reveal myself to them yet.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But then obviously, we'll get to the end of the episode, and then Carol will be all like,
This is too complicated.
this is all too much. And then the director will be like, well, why don't we just end it there?
The end.
Etc.
And until next time.
To be continued.
Arrivederci.